Sziasztok! Hi everyone, I'm Sándor, welcome to another Hungarian lesson. Let's see what does the phrase MIT TUDOM ÉN mean in Hungarian. Let's dive in. So, MIT TUDOM ÉN is actually an idiom or a fixed expression, whichever way you like. This is a phrase that cannot be translated literally. Even when I think about it, it makes no sense if I break it down. So literally, it means what I know I. MIT is the question word mi, which is what, with the object particle te attached to it. Tudom means I know in the definite conjugation, and én is I. But what does this idiom mean? It actually means I don't know. Sometimes it can mean how would I know as well, although we have a different expression for that. But just because it means I don't know, you have to be very careful when to use it. So if you want to simply say I don't know, please say nem tudom instead. That's the default I don't know in Hungarian. Because when you say MIT TUDOM ÉN, you can actually come across as rude or condescending because this phrase can carry the meaning of I don't know and I don't care. Not always, and your intonation is actually very important. I'll get to that in a minute. But as I said, it doesn't always mean don't know, don't care. It can also show your surprise. Let's say you're at a party and one of your friends is looking for his glass because he wants to have a drink. Then he turns to you and asks, Hol van a poharam? Hol van a poharam? Where is my glass? And since you haven't seen his glass, nor have you drank from it, you can reply with MIT TUDOM ÉN. In a case like this, it means something like I don't know, why are you asking me? You know, it's your glass. You should know where it is. And this is where intonation becomes very important. So the same scenario. Your friend turns to you and asks, Hol van a poharam? Now check my intonation. MIT TUDOM ÉN. MIT TUDOM ÉN. In this case, you're actually saying, I don't know and I don't care. So usually, when you're expressing your surprise, the pitch of the phrase is a bit higher. MIT TUDOM ÉN. MIT TUDOM ÉN. And when you're expressing the fact that you don't care at all, the pitch is lower, and we usually say the phrase slower. MIT TUDOM ÉN. MIT TUDOM ÉN. Also, it sounds a lot more like a statement rather than a question. You can say it quick too, of course. Just make sure to put an imaginary period at the end of the phrase instead of a question mark. So overall, I would suggest never to use MIT TUDOM ÉN in formal settings because you might sound rude. You can use it among your friends, especially when you want to express something like why are you asking me? Or why are you asking me when you know that I don't have anything to do with this or that? But please be careful with your intonation because if you say it with a lower pitch, you can still sound rude or condescending. I rarely use it in a condescending manner, only when I'm really frustrated by a question or by the person who's asking the question. But it's different from person to person, of course. Oh, and lastly, us Hungarians speak pretty fast. So usually when we say this phrase, it sounds like one word, like this. MIT TUDOM ÉN. MIT TUDOM ÉN. So make sure to double the T sound. MIT TUDOM ÉN. MIT TUDOM ÉN. Jó volt ez a lecke? Jó volt ez a lecke? Was this lesson good? MIT TUDOM ÉN. Thank you all for studying with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. And if you feel like supporting the channel even more, my PayPal information is in the description. See you in the next lesson. Sziasztok, a viszontlátásra!